A routine patrol. The Endeavour floated silently through the dark expanse of space. The ship was a small but sturdy vessel, designed for exploration and defense. Its sleek design allowed it to cut through the void, and its bright hull shimmered against the backdrop of countless stars. Inside, Captain Jackson sat at the helm, gazing at the glowing screens filled with data. His expression was calm, but his mind was alert. "Status report, Mia," he called to his engineer, who was busy checking the ship's systems. "Everything is running smoothly, Captain," Maya replied with a cheerful smile. She had short, curly hair and wore a standard blue uniform that marked her as one of the ship's key crew members. "We're on track for our routine patrol. No signs of trouble so far." Jackson nodded, pleased with her report. The crew of the Endeavour had been patrolling this sector for weeks, searching for potential threats to Earth. So far, their journey had been uneventful, which was good for the safety of their home planet. Still, Jackson felt a twinge of restlessness. A part of him craved adventure, a spark to break the monotony. As Mia continued her checks, Navigator Leo entered the bridge. His tall frame and confident posture always brought a sense of reliability to the team. "Any exciting news yet?" he asked, leaning against the console. "Just the usual," Jackson replied. "Stars and silence." Leo chuckled, his blue eyes twinkling with mischief. "Well, we could always find a way to liven things up. I heard there's a rumor about a pirate ship in this area." "Pirates?" Maya scoffed. "You mean space bandits. They're probably just as lost as we are." Jackson smiled at the banter between his crew. Their camaraderie made even the dullest patrols enjoyable. Just then, a series of alerts flashed on the control panel, breaking the lighthearted mood. Jackson straightened up, focusing on the screens. "Mia, what's happening?" he asked, concern creeping into his voice. "Reading strange energy signatures from a nearby planet," she replied, her fingers dancing over the controls. "It's not on our charts, Captain. Looks like it's uninhabited." "Let's investigate," Jackson said, his excitement growing. "Prepare for descent." Mia quickly adjusted the ship's course, while Leo plotted their approach. The Endeavour glided smoothly toward the mysterious planet. As they drew closer, the surface came into view, covered in lush greenery and vibrant colors. Jackson couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder. "Looks beautiful," Leo said, gazing at the screen. "It's like a paradise down there." "Let's hope it's not hiding any dangers," Jackson cautioned. "Mia, can we get any readings on the atmosphere?" "Just a moment." Mia focused on her screen, her brow furrowing. "The atmosphere seems breathable, but there are some unusual fluctuations. I recommend caution." "Noted." "Leo, prepare the landing gear," Jackson commanded. "We're going down." As the ship descended, the crew felt the familiar thrum of excitement. Soon, they touched down on the soft ground, and the landing gear settled with a gentle thud. Jackson looked at his crew, and they exchanged eager glances. This was what they lived for: exploration, discovery, and the thrill of the unknown. "Let's suit up and head out," Jackson said, feeling the adrenaline pumping through his veins. He grabbed his gear, and the others followed suit. The crew exited the Endeavour, stepping onto the vibrant landscape. Sunlight bathed the area in a golden glow, illuminating the trees with their rainbow-colored leaves. The air was fresh and filled with unfamiliar scents, invigorating their spirits. "Stay close and keep your eyes open," Jackson instructed, leading the way. They walked cautiously, their boots crunching on the ground. Everything felt surreal and alive. As they moved deeper into the jungle, they came across strange plants and flowers that seemed to glow faintly. "Look at that," Mia exclaimed, pointing at a flower with shimmering petals. "I've never seen anything like it." Leo bent down to examine it, but as he touched the flower, it released a burst of colorful spores into the air. The crew burst into laughter, their tension easing as they watched the spores drift like tiny fireflies. "This planet is full of surprises," Leo grinned, shaking his head. Just watch out for the sneezing fits. After exploring for a while, they reached a clearing with an impressive view. Before them stood towering mountains, and beyond that, a vast horizon stretching into infinity. Jackson felt a rush of inspiration. "This is incredible," he said, taking in the beauty. As they admired the scenery, the air crackled with energy, and a low hum filled the atmosphere. Jackson felt a strange sensation wash over him. "Did you feel that?" he asked, looking at his crew. "Yeah," Maya said, glancing around nervously. "What is that?" Before they could react, a massive ship appeared overhead, casting a shadow over the clearing. The crew shielded their eyes, stunned by the sight. It was unlike anything they had ever seen, sleek, dark, and intimidating. "Looks like we're not the only ones here," Jackson said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Let's move back toward the ship." As they retreated, they couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of an adventure they never expected. The Galactic Empire was out there, and they were about to discover just how different and hilarious their encounter with it would be. The Endeavor hummed softly behind them, a beacon of safety in the unknown. With each step, excitement bubbled in Jackson's chest. Little did they know, this routine patrol was about to turn into an extraordinary tale of laughter and discovery. First contact. As the crew of the Endeavor hurried back to their ship, they could hardly believe their eyes. The massive craft hovering above was unlike anything they had ever seen, with its sleek design and dark metallic surface reflecting the light of the nearby sun. The ship seemed almost alive, pulsating with energy. Jackson felt a mixture of excitement and apprehension. What could this ship mean for them? "Captain, we should hide," Mia suggested, glancing around nervously. "What if it's hostile?" Jackson shook his head, his curiosity getting the better of him. "We can't just run. This might be a chance to make contact with another civilization. We need to see what they want." Leo nodded, trying to suppress his own anxiety. "But we should be careful. We have no idea what they're capable of." With a deep breath, Jackson made up his mind. "Let's approach the ship slowly and see if we can communicate. Remember, we are ambassadors of Earth. We should show that we mean no harm." As they neared the Endeavor, the massive ship suddenly emitted a bright beam of light, illuminating the clearing. The crew shielded their eyes as the light enveloped them, and in that moment, a soft voice echoed in their minds. "Welcome, travelers of Earth. We are the Galactic Empire." Jackson felt a chill run down his spine. He wasn't sure if it was fear or exhilaration. "We hear you. I'm Captain Jackson of the Endeavor. We come in peace." The beam of light faded, revealing a platform extending from the side of the Galactic Empire's ship. It glowed invitingly, beckoning them closer. Jackson exchanged glances with Mia and Leo. This was it. They were about to step onto the ship of an alien civilization. "Stay together," Jackson instructed as they cautiously stepped onto the platform. As soon as they did, the platform began to rise, lifting them toward the entrance of the ship. They felt a strange sensation, like a tingling in their bodies, but they couldn't quite explain it. Once inside, the crew found themselves in a grand hall filled with shimmering lights and intricate designs. The air was cool, and the walls seemed to pulse with energy. Tall beings moved around them, humanoid but distinctly alien, with elongated limbs and skin that shimmered like stars. They wore elegant robes that flowed as they walked, giving them an air of authority. Jackson and his crew stood in awe, trying to take in the surroundings. "This is amazing," Mia whispered, her eyes wide. Suddenly, one of the alien beings stepped forward. It had large, expressive eyes and a calm demeanor. "I am High Commander Ilara of the Galactic Empire. We have observed your journey through the stars." Jackson took a deep breath, trying to remain composed. "We are explorers, seeking to learn about other worlds. We did not expect to find anyone here." Ilara tilted her head, as if studying them. "Your presence here is unexpected. We believe humanity to be a race that feared war. Yet you venture boldly into our domain. Jackson felt a surge of pride at her words. We are explorers and travelers. We seek knowledge and friendship, not conflict. Interesting, Ilara said, a hint of amusement in her voice. It appears you have misunderstood our intentions. We have watched your species from a distance, and we have seen your struggles. The Galactic Council has deemed you a threat. A threat? Leo echoed, his voice rising with disbelief. We just want to explore. Ilara raised her hand to calm them. We did not wish to harm your planet, but our past encounters with your kind have led us to caution. We destroyed Earth 3,000 years ago, believing it to be a breeding ground for chaos. The crew fell silent, stunned by the revelation. Jackson felt the weight of history in that moment. You destroyed Earth? He asked, disbelief lacing his voice. But we've changed. We're not the same people anymore. Ilara nodded slowly. We have seen your growth. The Council is intrigued by your advancements. However, you must prove that you have moved beyond your violent past. What do you want from us? Maya asked, her voice trembling slightly. We seek an exchange, Ilara replied. Show us your culture, your technology, and we will show you ours. We want to understand what has changed in 3,000 years. The crew exchanged glances, a mix of fear and excitement swirling in their hearts. This was their chance to show the galaxy who they truly were. We can do that, Jackson said, his confidence returning. We'll share our knowledge and experiences. Ilara smiled, her eyes glinting with curiosity. Very well. Welcome to the Galactic Empire, humans. Together, we will explore the depths of our histories. As they began their tour of the Galactic Empire's ship, Jackson felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had ventured into the unknown and found not just an alien civilization, but an opportunity to change perceptions. Perhaps this encounter would lead to something greater, a future where humanity could thrive among the stars, proving that they were not the warlike species of the past, but a race capable of unity, laughter, and discovery. Little did they know, the adventure had only just begun, and the Galactic Empire had more surprises in store for them than they could have ever imagined. Laughter and learning. As Jackson, Mia, and Leo followed High Commander Ilara deeper into the Galactic Empire's ship, they were filled with a mix of wonder and apprehension. The corridors glowed softly with lights that seemed to pulse in time with the ship's rhythm. The air was infused with a gentle hum, almost like a heartbeat, making them feel alive in a way they had never experienced before. This place is incredible, Mia whispered, glancing at the walls adorned with intricate patterns that shifted and changed, as if they were telling stories of the Empire's history. Ilara led them to a vast chamber filled with holographic displays of galaxies, star systems, and celestial phenomena. This is our learning center, she explained, gesturing for them to approach. Here, we study the universe and our place within it. Jackson felt a thrill of excitement. Can we interact with this? He asked, pointing to a nearby display that showed a spinning model of their own solar system. Of course, Ilara replied, her voice melodic. Simply reach out and touch the light. Cautiously, Jackson extended his hand toward the hologram. The moment his fingers brushed the shimmering surface, the image responded, zooming in on Earth. They watched in awe as the globe rotated, showcasing their planet's blue oceans and green continents. Look at that, Leo said, his eyes wide. It's beautiful. I never thought I'd see Earth from this perspective again. Ilara smiled. Your planet has changed significantly since our last encounter. You have grown as a species, but there are still many lessons to be learned. Like what? Maya asked, her curiosity piqued. Your history is filled with conflict and strife, Ilara said, her expression serious. But we also see the potential for creativity and unity. We want to understand how you have transformed your society. Jackson felt a surge of pride. We've learned from our past mistakes. Many people now believe in peace and cooperation. We want to explore the stars and share our knowledge with others. Ilara nodded, We would like to witness this transformation firsthand. But first, we must address the skepticism of the Galactic Council. They still believe humanity is a threat. How can we change their minds? Leo asked, feeling the weight of the challenge ahead. Through laughter, Ilara said, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Show them your culture, your humor. Make them laugh, and they will see you differently. Jackson exchanged glances with Mia and Leo. Laughter. How can we do that? Bring me one of your comedic performances, Ilara suggested. The council meets tomorrow, and I will present it as a demonstration of your culture. Mia's eyes lit up. We could show them a funny movie or something. But which one? I have an idea, Jackson said, his mind racing. What if we recreate a classic Earth comedy? We could perform a scene and add our own twists. Ilara's face broke into a smile. Excellent. I can provide the stage and some of our holographic technology to enhance your performance. As the crew discussed their plan, Jackson felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Performing in front of the Galactic Council was daunting, but they had to prove that humanity was more than a race that had once been feared. Later that night, they gathered in a rehearsal room within the ship. The walls glowed softly, and the holographic technology flickered to life. What movie should we choose? Leo asked, flipping through options on a screen. How about The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Mia suggested. It has adventure and humor, and it showcases the quirks of humanity. I love that idea, Jackson exclaimed. It's perfect for showing our playful side. As they rehearsed, they decided to focus on a scene where characters bumble through misunderstandings, leading to hilarious situations. Jackson took the lead, mimicking the exaggerated movements and quirky expressions of the characters. Leo and Mia joined in, adding their own unique spins on the dialogue. Remember, we need to exaggerate, Jackson said, trying to make them laugh during practice. They stumbled over lines, laughed at each other's mistakes, and grew more comfortable with the absurdity of the performance. The next day, they prepared for their presentation to the Galactic Council. Ilara led them to a grand hall, filled with beings from different species, all eyeing them with curiosity. The atmosphere buzzed with tension, and Jackson felt his heart race. Just remember, Ilara whispered, be confident and let your humor shine. The council members sat in an elevated area, their expressions serious. You may begin, one of them said, its voice deep and resonant. Jackson took a deep breath, then stepped forward. Thank you for allowing us to present our culture. Today, we want to share a glimpse of humanity's sense of humor. As they launched into their performance, the crew embraced their roles wholeheartedly. Jackson exaggerated his gestures, Leo added funny sound effects, and Mia delivered punchlines with perfect timing. They laughed, stumbled, and played off each other's energy, transforming the serious atmosphere into something lighter. Slowly, Jackson noticed some council members leaning forward, their eyes brightening. The tension began to dissipate as laughter bubbled up, echoing in the hall. With each joke, they felt a connection forming, a bridge between their worlds. By the time they reached the end of their performance, the room erupted with laughter. Jackson grinned, feeling the surge of triumph. They had done it. They had shared a piece of themselves and shown the Galactic Council the lighter side of humanity. As the applause echoed, Ilara smiled proudly. Well done, humans. You have opened a door to understanding. Now let us see where this connection leads. With hope in their hearts, Jackson, Mia, and Leo stepped back, knowing that their journey had just begun. They had begun to change perceptions, one laugh at a time. The council's decision. The laughter in the grand hall echoed long after Jackson, Mia, and Leo finished their performance. The Galactic Council members, who had initially watched with skepticism, were now smiling and exchanging glances. It was clear that the humans had made a strong impression, and that spark of connection filled the air with a sense of hope. High Commander Ilara stepped forward, addressing the council with confidence. Honorable members, I present to you a species that has evolved beyond the fears of the past. Humans have shown us their humor, their creativity, and their desire for peace. We must consider the potential for collaboration. One of the council members, a tall, slender being with shimmering blue skin and intricate patterns across its face, leaned forward. While we have laughed, it does not erase the destruction of Earth. We must discuss the implications of allowing humanity into the Galactic Empire. Another council member, a stout creature covered in vibrant green scales, nodded. Indeed, we must tread carefully. Their past actions remain fresh in our minds. How can we trust that they have truly changed? Ilara took a deep breath. Trust must be earned, and I believe the humans are ready to prove themselves. Allow them to participate in a diplomatic mission to the Rim worlds. They can show us their intentions and capabilities. Jackson felt his heart race at the thought of such an opportunity. We'll do everything we can to demonstrate our commitment to peace, he said, stepping forward. We want to help, to learn, and to be part of this galaxy. The council murmured among themselves. Jackson could see the glimmers of hope mingling with doubt in their eyes. After a tense silence, the blue-skinned council member raised a hand, signaling for quiet. Very well, the member said. We shall grant this request. The humans will join a diplomatic envoy to the Rim worlds, a region of varying allegiances. Their ability to foster peace will be tested, and their performance will determine their future with us. Cheers erupted from Jackson, Mia, and Leo. Ilara smiled proudly, and they exchanged excited glances. This was their chance to show the galaxy that humanity was more than just a species that had been feared. As the excitement settled, the council continued to deliberate the logistics. The mission will take place in one standard cycle, the green-scaled member announced. You will be accompanied by a team of our diplomats. Prove to us that your kind can negotiate and foster alliances without resorting to conflict. Jackson nodded, determination in his heart. We won't let you down. We'll show you what humanity can do. After the meeting, Ilara took the three friends aside. This is a significant opportunity for you, she said, her eyes serious. But it will not be easy. The Rim worlds are full of complex political situations. You must be prepared for anything. Mia felt a mixture of excitement and fear. What if they don't want to listen to us? What if they still see us as a threat? Your laughter and creativity have already opened doors, Ilara reassured her. But you must also show them your willingness to listen and learn. Understanding is key in diplomacy. Jackson took a deep breath, ready to embrace the challenge. We can do this together. We just need to be ourselves and show them who we really are. Over the next few days, they prepared for the mission. Ilara helped them learn about the cultures and politics of the Rim worlds. The trio spent long hours in the learning center, studying holographic displays that detailed the different factions and their histories. As they trained, they discussed strategies for approaching the different worlds. We should emphasize our desire for cooperation, Mia suggested. Maybe we can even share some of our humor to break the ice. Leo nodded. And we can showcase our advancements in technology and culture. They need to see that we're not a threat. Finally, the day of departure arrived. Jackson, Mia, and Leo stood on the landing platform, watching as their ship, the Unity, prepped for launch. It gleamed under the lights, reflecting the hopes of not just humanity, but also the Galactic Council. Ilara joined them, her expression a mix of pride and concern. Remember, the way you conduct yourselves will reflect on all of humanity. Be respectful, be kind, and above all, stay true to your values. With a final nod from Ilara, they boarded the ship, excitement bubbling in their chests. The ship's interior was sleek and futuristic, filled with advanced technology. As they settled into their seats, Jackson felt a surge of determination. Let's make history, he said, looking at his friends. As the Unity lifted off and soared into the stars, they gazed out at the beauty of the galaxy. This was their chance to prove that humanity had changed, that they could be allies instead of enemies. As they entered hyperspace, Jackson felt the thrill of adventure coursing through him. He knew there would be challenges ahead, but with Mia and Leo by his side, he felt ready to face anything the galaxy had to throw at them. The journey had just begun, and with each passing moment, they moved closer to their destiny, showing the galaxy who humanity truly was. The Rim Worlds. The Unity emerged from hyperspace, revealing a breathtaking view of the Rim Worlds. Bright, colorful planets spun gracefully in the vastness of space, each one unique. Jackson, Mia, and Leo gazed in awe at the scenery outside their ship's windows. They had studied these worlds in preparation, but seeing them in person was an entirely different experience. "Look at that one," Mia exclaimed, pointing to a vibrant blue and green planet. "It looks like a paradise." Leo nodded, squinting at the displays. "That's Varanthia. They're known for their lush landscapes and advanced agriculture. They might be open to discussions about resource sharing." Jackson leaned closer to the console, reviewing their mission details. "Our first stop is Kalara. They have a history of being isolationist, but the Council believes they might be receptive to our approach." As the ship approached Kalara, Jackson felt a mixture of excitement and anxiety. The planet appeared shrouded in a thick layer of clouds, with only hints of land peeking through. The atmosphere seemed dense, and the air was filled with a subtle glow. "Prepare for landing," Jackson announced, taking the pilot's seat. The controls felt natural in his hands, and he focused on the task at hand. The Unity touched down gently on a designated landing pad surrounded by towering trees that stretched towards the sky. As the hatch opened, they were greeted by a team of Kalaran diplomats. The Kalarans were tall and slender, with shimmering skin that changed colors with their emotions. They wore elaborate robes that flowed as they walked. "Welcome, humans," one of the Kalarans said, their voice melodious and inviting. "I am Ambassador Lyora. We did not expect to see you here." Jackson stepped forward, his heart racing. "Thank you for welcoming us. We are here to foster peace and understanding between our worlds." Ambassador Lyora studied them carefully, their skin shifting to a calming blue hue. "We have heard much about your kind. We are curious, but also cautious." Mia smiled, stepping in to ease the tension. "We understand your concerns. We come in peace and wish to learn about your culture and share our own." As they moved into the Kalaran diplomatic chambers, Jackson felt the weight of their mission pressing down on him. The chamber was adorned with intricate patterns and glowing crystals that illuminated the space in a warm light. The air was filled with a soothing fragrance that calmed his nerves. "Let us begin with introductions," Lyora suggested. "Share with us your story." As they took turns sharing tales of Earth's history, their struggles, and their resilience, the Kalarans listened intently. Jackson spoke of humanity's journey, the challenges they faced, and how they had emerged from a troubled past. The Kalarans were intrigued, their skin shifting colors in response to the stories. Jackson noticed a shift in their demeanor. They seemed more open, more engaged. "We understand your struggles," Lyora said, their voice softer now. "We, too, have faced our share of challenges. Perhaps we can find common ground." After hours of dialogue, the atmosphere in the room began to lighten. Leo proposed a cultural exchange, suggesting they share art, music, and traditions. "By understanding each other's cultures, we can build a stronger bond," he said passionately. Lyora's skin glimmered with approval. "A wonderful idea. We have much to share, and I believe this will strengthen our ties." As the meeting continued, Jackson felt a wave of relief wash over him. They were making progress. By the end of the day, plans were set for a cultural exhibition where both species would showcase their achievements and talents. But as they wrapped up, Lyora leaned closer, a serious expression on their face. "While we are open to collaboration, there are factions within Kalara that may not agree with this union. They view outsiders with suspicion and fear." Mina's brows knitted together. "What can we do to help ease their fears?" "Demonstrate your intentions through actions, not just words, Leora advised. Engage with our people, participate in our traditions, show them that you are different. With that, they concluded their first official meeting. As they left the chambers, Jackson felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had made strides toward building trust, but there was still much work to be done. In the following days, they participated in Caloran festivals, engaging with the local community. They learned the Caloran way of life, from their agricultural practices to their artistic expressions. Jackson felt a connection forming, a bridge between their worlds. One evening, they joined a gathering where Caloran shared stories through a blend of music and dance. Jackson watched in awe as Leora led a rhythmic dance, their skin shifting colors in sync with the melodies. Mia joined in, laughing as she tried to mimic the graceful movements. As the night wore on, Jackson noticed a change among the Calorans. They began to approach him, Mia and Leo, sharing their own stories and experiences. The laughter that once seemed distant now echoed through the air as the walls of mistrust began to crumble. Yet, deep down, Jackson remembered Leora's warning. Not everyone was convinced of their peaceful intentions. The success of their mission rested on their ability to navigate this complex landscape. With each passing day, they felt more at home in Kalara, but they knew they had to remain vigilant. Trust was not easily earned, and they were determined to prove that humanity was ready to be a part of the galactic community. The stage was set for their next challenge. As the cultural exchange approached, they felt the weight of the expectations. Jackson looked at his friends, their expressions filled with determination. Together, they would show the galaxy who they were and what they could offer. They were ready to face whatever lay ahead. Tensions rise. As the day of the cultural exchange approached, excitement buzzed in the air. Jackson, Mia, and Leo had spent weeks preparing for this moment, gathering art, music, and stories from Earth to share with the Calorans. They felt optimistic about the bonds they were forming, but there was an undercurrent of anxiety that they couldn't shake. In the days leading up to the exchange, the trio noticed an increase in tension among the Calorans. Some groups openly expressed their discontent with the humans' presence. Whispers of rebellion and dissent echoed through the diplomatic halls, and Jackson found himself caught in the middle of these growing conflicts. During a meeting with Leora, Jackson sensed the urgency in the ambassador's voice. There are factions that fear what humans represent, Leora explained, their skin shifting to a dark shade of purple. They believe that welcoming you will weaken our culture and lead to our downfall. Is there anything we can do to help? Maya asked, concern etching her features. Lyra looked thoughtful for a moment. You must show them that collaboration can bring strength. Perhaps you could host a demonstration of Earth's traditions and skills during the exchange. If they see how we can learn from each other, it may ease their fears. Inspired by Leora's suggestion, Jackson and his friends began preparing for the demonstration. They decided to showcase a mix of Earth's music, dance, and culinary arts. Leo volunteered to perform a traditional Earth song with his guitar, while Mia planned to teach a simple Earth dance that anyone could join. Jackson, meanwhile, would prepare a small presentation about humanity's achievements and aspirations. As the day of the cultural exchange finally arrived, Jackson could feel the weight of anticipation pressing down on him. The atmosphere was electric as Calorans and humans gathered in the Grand Plaza, a beautiful open space adorned with vibrant colors and decorations representing both cultures. The plaza was filled with stalls featuring Caloran art, food, and music, each one bustling with activity. Jackson felt both exhilarated and anxious as they set up their own booth, displaying Earth's paintings, sculptures, and photographs. As Calorans approached, they eyed the items with curiosity, but there were still hints of skepticism. As the festivities began, Leo stepped up to the stage. He strummed his guitar, sending out soft, melodic notes that filled the plaza. He sang a simple yet beautiful song about hope and unity. Jackson watched as Calorans gathered, drawn in by the music. Slowly, The tension in the air began to dissipate as some began to sway to the rhythm. Next, Mia invited colorants to join her in the dance. She demonstrated the simple steps, her laughter infectious. Some colorants hesitated, but after a moment, a few brave souls stepped forward, attempting to mimic her movements. Jackson could see the curiosity growing in their eyes as they participated, their colors shifting to lighter shades of green and blue, reflecting their enjoyment. The human dance became a bridge, connecting both cultures in a moment of shared joy. As the afternoon wore on, it was Jackson's turn to present. He stood in front of the gathered crowd, his heart racing. "Thank you all for being here today," he began, his voice steady despite his nerves. "We come from a planet called Earth, where we have faced many challenges. But through our struggles, we have learned the value of collaboration and understanding." He shared stories of humanity's resilience, highlighting their achievements in science, art, and culture. He spoke of their journey to becoming a spacefaring civilization and their desire to forge meaningful connections with other species. To his surprise, the colorants listened intently, their colors shifting to bright shades of orange and yellow, signaling their engagement. He felt a wave of hope wash over him as he continued, emphasizing their commitment to peace and cooperation. However, just as he finished, a sudden commotion erupted from the crowd. A group of colorants, visibly agitated, pushed their way to the front. They shouted protests against the exchange, their voices filled with anger and distrust. "You are a threat to our way of life," one of them yelled, their skin flashing a deep crimson. "We must not let these outsiders corrupt our culture." Jackson's heart sank. He had feared this moment would come. Lyora stepped forward, their presence commanding attention. "Please," they urged, their voice steady, "let us hear each other. We must talk, not fight." But the protests only grew louder, and the atmosphere shifted once again, heavy with tension. Jackson felt a knot form in his stomach as he realized that not everyone was ready to accept them. In the midst of the chaos, Maya stepped up beside Lyora, her voice calm and clear. "We are not here to take anything from you. We want to share and learn. Isn't that what culture is all about?" Her words cut through the noise, and for a moment there was silence. Colorants exchanged glances, their expressions uncertain. Leo joined them, speaking earnestly. "We believe that by understanding each other, we can strengthen both our worlds. We don't want to change you. We just want to be friends." Slowly, the protests quieted, and the crowd began to listen again. Jackson took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. "We are all unique, but it is our differences that make us stronger. Let's find a way to build a future together." As the tension in the plaza began to dissipate, Jackson felt a flicker of hope ignite within him. Perhaps this exchange could serve as a turning point, a chance for both humans and colorants to move forward together. With renewed determination, they resumed the festivities. Colorants began to mingle with the humans, and slowly but surely, barriers began to break down. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the plaza, Jackson looked at his friends, grateful for their support. They had faced adversity, but together, they were forging a path toward unity. The cultural exchange had begun with uncertainty, but now it felt like a celebration of hope. The journey was far from over, but they were ready to continue the fight for understanding and collaboration. The Galactic Empire had once destroyed their home, but now they were standing strong, ready to build a brighter future, together. A new dawn. The sun rose over the Caloran city, casting its golden light across the vibrant landscape. Jackson, Mia, and Leo awoke with a sense of anticipation, knowing today was the day they would hold the final event of the cultural exchange. After the tense confrontation at the last gathering, they were determined to ensure that this day would end on a positive note, reinforcing the bonds they had begun to form with the colorants. As they prepared, Jackson reviewed the plans in his mind. The final event would feature a grand celebration, where both cultures would come together to share their stories, music, and food. This was a chance to demonstrate unity and show the colorants that humans were not a threat, but allies seeking friendship. In the plaza, colorful banners flapped gently in the breeze, and the scent of delicious Caloran cuisine filled the air. The humans set up their own stalls, showcasing Earth's culinary delights, including dishes like spaghetti, tacos, and chocolate cake. Jackson hoped that the familiar aromas would entice the Calarans to try something new. As the crowd began to gather, Jackson felt a flutter of nerves. He glanced around and saw familiar faces, some of whom had been skeptical during the earlier events. Lyora was there, their expression determined, standing beside a group of Calarans who had once been among the loudest in their opposition. When the event officially began, Jackson stood at the forefront, ready to speak. "Thank you all for joining us today," he said, his voice steady. "This celebration represents a new beginning. Together, we can create a bond that transcends our differences." Mia followed, sharing a heartfelt message about the importance of understanding and collaboration. "Today, let us celebrate our uniqueness while embracing the shared values that unite us," she said, her enthusiasm infectious. As the speeches concluded, the music began. Leo took the stage again, playing a lively tune that invited the Calarans to dance. At first, some hesitated, but with a few smiles and gestures from the humans, they began to join in, their movements becoming more animated as they lost themselves in the rhythm. To Jackson's delight, many Calarans approached the food stalls, intrigued by the offerings. He watched as a group of Calarans took tentative bites of tacos, their expressions shifting from uncertainty to surprise and delight. Laughter filled the air as they tried to mimic the humans' reactions to the flavors. As the day wore on, the barriers that had once seemed insurmountable continued to crumble. Humans and Calarans mingled, sharing stories and laughter. Jackson saw a group of Calarans attempting to teach a traditional dance to a few humans, who clumsily followed along, their faces filled with joy. Even the Calaran group that had protested initially joined in, now fully engaged in the festivities. One of them, a tall Calaran named Ref, had even stepped forward to share a traditional Calaran dish. "We believe food is a way to the heart," he said, offering a plate to Jackson. "Please, try it." With a mix of gratitude and excitement, Jackson accepted the dish and took a bite. The flavors exploded in his mouth, and he smiled widely. "It's amazing." "Thank you, Ref." Ref's colors shifted to a warm shade of blue, a sign of happiness. "You humans have a knack for flavor too. Let's share more." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a brilliant array of colors across the sky, the plaza transformed into a tapestry of celebration. Jackson, Mia, and Leo took a moment to step back, watching the joyous scene unfold. "This is incredible," Maya said, her eyes shining. "I can't believe how far we've come." Jackson nodded, filled with pride. "We did this together. It shows what we can accomplish when we work as allies." Suddenly, Leora approached them, a glimmer of excitement in their eyes. "I believe we have turned a corner today. This gathering is a testament to the strength of our shared future." As the night continued, stories were exchanged, and the music played on. The humans shared tales of Earth's history, while the Calarans spoke of their own legendary heroes and traditions. The dialogue flowed freely, each exchange bringing them closer together. In that moment, Jackson felt a profound sense of hope. They had faced challenges and resistance, but they had also experienced the beauty of connection. The Galactic Empire had once destroyed Earth, but now humans were standing side by side with the Calarans, united in their desire for peace. As the final dance began, humans and Calarans formed a large circle, arms linked as they celebrated their newfound friendship. Laughter echoed through the plaza, blending with the music, creating a symphony of harmony. In the days that followed, the cultural exchange blossomed into a partnership. The humans began to collaborate with Calarans on various projects, exploring the depths of their combined knowledge and creativity. They exchanged technologies, ideas, and customs, creating a vibrant tapestry that enriched both cultures. As Jackson looked toward the stars, He felt a sense of belonging. The universe was vast, filled with unknown challenges, but now he knew they were not alone. Together, humans and colorants would chart a course for a brighter future, one filled with laughter, understanding, and the promise of adventure. The Galactic Empire had underestimated humanity, believing that they would cower in fear after their home was destroyed. Instead, humanity had returned not just for vengeance, but to forge bonds that could reshape the galaxy. And as Jackson, Mia, and Leo stood among their new friends, they knew that this was just the beginning of an incredible journey, one where hope and collaboration would lead the way into a new dawn.